Yay, hello again. As you can see, I'm on a bit of a roll when it comes to doing some YouTube videos about the T2. Yeah, I've turned on the CarPlay unit. On the first kind of analysis, well, okay, why would you put a CarPlay unit on an e-bike? And my mind turns initially to what would you otherwise use, which would be your mobile phone. And your mobile phone, if anything like the average, is probably several £100 in terms of value. And prevalently, people put their mobile phones on their handlebar, secured by a mobile phone holder, and ride around with not only the value of the bike, but also their mobile phone with all of their banking and other very important information on that unit on display. The CarPlay unit is about £60. Okay. Downside is it is 100% locked onto the bike. Pulling my cap there, it is very securely bolted onto the bike. Those wires you can see looping down are the wires for the power and the cameras, etc. So it is 100% locked to the bike, but value-wise, it's a lot less than your phone. The other thing about the mobile phone being on your handlebar is that your mobile phone has a very sophisticated, or the average mobile phone has a very sophisticated camera with a number of lenses and motors that drive those lenses for focusing. Unfortunately, bikes have a lot of vibration, and if you use your mobile phone routinely on your e-bike, or just your general bike for that matter, but e-bike particularly, then that vibration can damage the camera motors over time. Also, e-bikes do actually have a kind of a harmonic vibration due to the motor, etc., and that frequency again doesn't help your camera on your phone. So that was kind of the logic or the rationale towards putting on a less expensive unit as a CarPlay unit on the bike. Okay. The other advantages as such are that the CarPlay unit comes with, see my fingers dancing there, a rear view camera. It also comes with a front view camera, but since I've got two eyes pointing forward, I don't tend to use that, but they're all recorded, so that comes into its own. The front view camera comes into its own. I think I might have noted if you have a near miss or incident, then the camera's kind of recording what was transpiring to the point of that incident, as it were, coming to fruition. Okay, so that's one of the functions of the CarPlay. The other is that a lesser one, but still important, some will say in terms of range quite important, is the unit comes with tyre pressure monitors. Yeah, I know, getting close to, they say fully loaded, but yeah, useful to know that this bike, the tyres run at 2 bar, so it's about 28 pounds per square inch, and yeah, when you get on, it will when you power up, it'll tell you what the tyre pressure is, and so and that tyre pressure does talk to a number of things, not least range. If your tyre pressure is a bit low, then actually the rolling resistance is higher and your range is lower. So you can kind of just pump your tyres up a bit and put yourself back into the kind of more efficient range. Also, if your tyre pressure is low and you're kind of rolling around on tarmac and the like, as I do mostly, your chance of getting a puncture is actually higher, because you haven't got, as it were, it's not as robust in its contact with the road and any kind of loose objects or sharp objects, etc. So yeah, good to know what your tyre pressure is. Okay, so and that kind of is it in. I'll try this very quickly because I've got it now powered latched up. There you can see it just about there. Yeah. So mine are about 1.8 bar, and yeah, so that feels a kind of comfortable range and quite well powered up or pumped up. And then down the bottom here you've got the cameras. So there, for example, that's the rear view, and yeah, conveniently it swipes. It's got touch sensitive on, so you can go through to the front camera, etc. But I don't tend to use it obviously the front, and yeah, hit the wrong one there. And the rear one, back in the day, I just have it set on full rear. But then I discovered that it has a mode which is, you can set up part of your screen. So here's kind of standard CarPlay unit with phone, etc. And through the earbuds, I don't take phone calls when I'm riding, but I can see that someone has called, and again messages I can see someone has. It says chat GTP, again, why would you, while moving at 20 miles an hour, but yeah, it's on there. But I do tend to use the Spotify link to listen to music. Not too loud that I can't hear road traffic, but yeah, loud enough to reduce monotony. Okay, and the other thing it has is a map. Okay, so let me just not focus too much to tell you exactly where I live. Yeah, so the map is, yeah, again, very useful. What I have found though, from my brain at least, is that I need to set that to north. Why? Because when you have it set to the default, your icon is basically following, I don't know what it is actually, the route of the road, blah blah blah, but it means that sometimes your icon is going down when you're going forward, and your left becomes right and your right becomes left, and it gets rather confusing. Whereas I think if you set it to north, effectively it aligns the map so that the roads on the left of the coming up to you are the roads that you can see coming up on the left, and vice versa on the right. Yeah, so that again is a setting which then makes it intuitive to navigate with. It's coming very handy when I've been kind of riding across London into areas where, you know, I'm not familiar with, and then I can just put in, as you do with any sat nav, location, and it kind of takes that angst out of. And then as I say, yeah, all the music that you would otherwise be listening to at home, you can kind of listen to that in the background. So just very quickly, I think I've actually covered most of it in terms of the day-to-day function. Yeah, so load of apps that you would never use. I should knock that out again. Yeah, just going down the bottom. Yeah, so you've got your camera. It says the speaker level, but that doesn't change the speaker level of or the sound level of the music that you're listening to, unfortunately. And then back to the main display with the camera and music and or map. You can have all three on the screen if you so wish, or just have a map, or just the camera, or just the music. Yeah, I tend to run with two, which would be either music and camera, or map and camera. So that helps. In the deeper functions, and all CarPlays have different functions, as it were, or different sets of additional functions. This has a, how can you describe it? It will detect if blind spot detection. That's it. So I'm sure it's just running an algorithm off of the camera, and it's kind of worked out where your blind spot otherwise would be, and along the side of the screen you'll see a kind of a red bar will come up, and that just means that there's someone who's in your blind spot. I find looking over my shoulder as well as using the camera does that. So when I had the blind spot detection on, it was, I won't say annoying, but it wasn't telling me anything I didn't already know by looking over my shoulder ahead of manoeuvring, indicating a manoeuvring. But it's in there. So yeah, I would, wouldn't I, because I bought one, I say that they are very, I found them to be, the CarPlay unit to be very, it's integral part of my riding experience now. Could I do without it? Yeah, of course I could. Yeah, it's just a useful part of the riding experience, and say with the added safety function of the camera, which, hands up, could be covered by a mirror located here, as I did with my, I had on it before. The mirror unfortunately fell off, so I've been kind of reliant on the car CarPlay, the CarPlay camera, but I will put another mirror back on there because redundancy. The CarPlay unit may fail. I'm still going to need to know who's on my right hand side, and so I think a mirror added to handlebar will be going back on there. So yeah, I thought I'd just kind of take you through the CarPlay unit. Nothing in addition to, you can see at the moment there's a flashing red, which means it is recording. That's helpful, useful, interesting when you're going out on bike rides with other bikers and the like, that you can kind of replay parts of your ride, etc. So yeah, entertainment wise, but much more than that. This function here, not really got it to work. I suspect I need an aerial here for and yeah, it says GPS, so I probably need an aerial here to activate this, but can't really see any additional benefit of it because the information I need is covered by in terms of location wise, is covered by the CarPlay map. Okay, hope that's been helpful.